You don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on the Al Travis Show.
We've got him, Jack Zimmerman, with us this morning. Jack, how are you doing, my friend?
Good, Al. How are you doing?
I can't complain. I do believe, and I looked it up. I couldn't find it on the Facebook this morning, so I presume it might have been on your Instagram because you're one of those guys. You were out doing some fishing, saw a big smallmouth bass. Is that a new photo or is it just something you just posted?
Oh, no, me and my youngest son, Benjamin, we went up to, last Monday, we went up to Mille Lacs, and we fished up there for 2 days, and man, the smallmouths, they were biting. We got into some big ones, Al. I had one that the last fish that I had hooked up, that might have been the biggest one I ever had hooked up, and I broke them off.
Oh, really? That's okay. That's too bad.
Oh,
but it's exciting. That's fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was so much fun to spend. I got to spend the last 2 weeks, so much time on the water with my boys, and it's so fun to be able to create those memories this summer with them,
Absolutely. You are currently doing what? What are you up to this morning?
Yeah, I'm up here at the Magnus Foundation. The Magnus Foundation, for those that don't know of it, it's a place where veterans can go get their health care. They can get it for free.
There you
go. Your primary care, it's so important. And the way that it's so cool because it's like being back in the military, right? Because it's run by a 5th Special Forces Group surgeon, which he's a full-blown doctor. And it's just like being back in the military. I can go in there and say, hey, doc, this is what's going on with me. Can you fix me up?
Yeah.
And it's not nothing you have to worry about, being like, hey, I don't know if I want to tell my doctor this or not or whatever.
Yeah,
you can be honest with doc. He's one of the boys,
Love that. And that's up in, what did you say, Dayton?
Dayton, Minnesota, yeah. And I think I think it's $50 a month, $20 a month, something like that. Go check it out. I'm not for sure, but you need to go check out the website. And you can sponsor a veteran's health care and sponsor a veteran for a year for like $20 or $50 a month. Yeah, you can take care of veterans health care for a year. And it comes off your card automatically. You don't even know what's going on. And it's you're taking care of a veteran. You can give a veteran anything after they've served. Their health is the most important thing you can give them.
You bet. And what was the name of the place again?
Yeah, the Magnus Veterans Foundation.
Okay, Magnet Veterans Foundation. Look it up. Let's get some folks to do that. That would be fantastic. And you swear by them. They're good surgeons. They're good doctors.
Yeah, I come up here. I see Doc. After getting blown up in Afghanistan, I literally had all 4 of my limbs ripped off. They were able to reattach my arms pretty well, and I have a lot of stuff I still got to get taken care of. Stuff gets sore, stuff gets beaten up, and I just can't do things like I used to, and so Doc keeps me rolling and keeps me in good shape and feeling the best that I can all the time, and this place does it all. I mean, body, mind, spirit, everything, they do it all up here. It's an incredible place, and they have a pond down here, Al. My favorite part is this time of year is between appointments, if you don't want to sit in the living room waiting for your next appointment, they got a pond out back stocked with some of the biggest sunfish and bluegill you ever seen in your life and some bass in there. But, man, you can go down there and fish between appointments.
I love that. I like that a ton. And you say this is an old farmhouse, right?
Yeah. So his aunt left him the property here where the campus is on here where you come and get your care. It's right on the lake. There's a little pond in the backyard, like I said, stocked full of fish. And the old farmhouse has been turned into the clinic. I mean, you go into basically what probably was an old bedroom as a to be seen by the doctor, yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. The other thing that's kind of going on, neat, that you're a big part of is the Bravo Zulu House. They're getting their first gentleman in there. I think it's this week even.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. All this has come together so fast, and all the people that have taken part in this, they deserve all the recognition. And Tim Murray, that guy, what he has dedicated his life to making this happen, and I'm so proud to see this happening. It's been needed so long in southern Minnesota, and these guys now and these veterans that go off to get treatment, they come out of treatment, they're going to have a really good place to go and heal and put their lives back together. And once again, Al, we're giving somebody their health back, and their life and those things. And it's just incredible that all these things that are going on for veterans, and it just, I say it over and over again, Al. The way we treat our veterans are the war fighters we're going to get tomorrow, and
absolutely.
I think we're going to have some damn good warriors.
I don't disagree with you, Joel. And again, I like when you say it. It sure did go fast putting up this Bravo Zulu house for you and I. But Tim and the day-to-day and the raising the amount of money he had to raise and put this thing together, I saw a post, whatever, the weekend, needing volunteers, to put the finishing touches on the rooms and, make the beds and do stuff like that. All the details that go into that is just massive. And he took, like you say, took him about himself and made it happen, and they're already now starting to try to find a place for the women's home. I appreciate you being that board, Jack. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, if I can do anything after everything that I've gone through and all the people that have supported me and helped me put my life back together, the amount that I owe to pay it forward for the amount of people that have helped me, the least I can do is help out with little projects like this,
No. I love it, and I appreciate you being a part of it. Let's do this. Let's go to break just a little bit early. I want to talk about your books on the other side. Also, you following along with what's going on with your Minnesota Timberwolves? Good news, my friend. We'll talk about it after the break. He's Jack Zimmerman on the Al Travis Show.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
If you could save a life, would it be worth 60 minutes of your time? SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, wants you to know that you can save a life. The One Step Ahead online suicide prevention training teaches you the 4 easy steps to talking to a friend, coworker, or family member about suicide and how you can give them the help they need. Best of all, the training is free. To sign up and take the training, go to save.org/one-step-ahead. That's save.org/one-step-ahead.
kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS Show.
And we've got Jack Zimmerman on the program. Go to jackzimmermanmn.com. Check out all his books. Let me do this, Jack. You grew up, in the Cleveland area, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yep. Wanted to graduate from Cleveland. Yep.
All right, so you grew up in Cleveland. You were always a hunting kid? Did you always hunt and fish?
That's all I ever did growing up. Yeah, if I wasn't playing sports, I was out in the woods.
And what sports did you play, sir?
Oh, man, I played baseball up until my, I think, freshman or sophomore year, but then I just played football and basketball all the way through high school. And I think I might have missed basketball my sophomore year. They don't let you play if you don't have good grades, Al.
There was a time that was true, I bet. Yeah. So you're a sportsman, you're an outdoorsman big time. What got you to join the service?
Yeah, Al, when I was, I watched the towers fall when I was in, middle school, and I watched the war kick off, and I watched guys come home from the war and the way that, people looked at those guys, the way they respected them, and, and the way I have so much love for this country, and I've always respected the veterans, and I watched the guys on Veterans Day carrying the flags and, watching those guys hang out and the camaraderie they shared, and I just looked up to those guys so much, and I love this country, and I really came down to me wanting to serve this country and say that I played my part in the war. I didn't want to look back as like I am now at 35 years old and say that I watched the longest war in U.S. history go on, and I didn't participate in it. And there's nothing against people that never served. It's nothing against those people, but inside of me and my beliefs, that's just how I felt that I wanted to go do my part. And I was thankful that I was given the opportunity to serve my country. I know that there's a lot of reasons that people don't get the opportunity to serve this country, and I looked at it every moment that I was there as the greatest opportunity of my life. If you ask anybody I ever served with, if there was anything to volunteer for, I was the first one to volunteer, and I volunteered for everything. And I looked at it as a privilege. I looked at every mission that I got to go on as a privilege. I looked at every opportunity to volunteer to help out around our company outpost as a way to help out my brothers that I was serving with, and it was moving our country forward in the mission we believed in. And I never felt more of a purpose, and I never felt so a part of anything. And now given the opportunity to have a voice to go out and share it and be a motivational speaker and write these 2 books and everything else is just trying to be a continuation of my service and to try to, help people understand what I learned going through that and to try to keep moving our country forward.
All right, let me ask you this. So you decided to sign up. You went infantry?
Yeah, so I walked into the recruiter station one day after work, and I said, I want to go to Iraq or I want to go to Afghanistan. I want to get there as fast as I can. I want to be on the front lines. How do I do that? I didn't even know what the infantry was, Al.
But they put you in. Were you also a Ranger? Did you jump out of planes, helicopters, that sort of thing?
Just airborne. Just airborne.
Right.
Just airborne.
Just airborne. All right, so how long were you in Afghanistan before the inspiration for your first book, 5 minutes, 300 seconds that changed my life? How long were you over there? How many missions did you do?
Yeah, so I got there. It's kind of cool. I deployed with the 101st Airborne Division on June 6, 2010, and I went over there to Afghanistan, and we got into it about 2 weeks after we got there. We got into our area of operations, and we pretty much gun-fought day in and day out all the way up until the day that I was wounded, March 9th, 2011. So I was there for just about 9 months.
All right, so 9 months in, you end up getting your life changed. 300 seconds that changed my life, 5 minutes. This book, folks, if you go to get it at jackzimmermanmn.com or wherever you pick up your books, is an unbelievable read. Just putting it out there. Then, how long has it been since then? What year was that? And how long do you think it took you to find your footing, to find that thing that made the difference beyond 5 minutes? How long did that take you, Jack?
Yeah, so 15 years ago it was in June that I deployed. So I'm coming up on my 15th anniversary of being wounded, where I was, got caught in a complex ambush and stepped on an IED, and it took me a good 10 years, Al, to figure out who I was after I got wounded.
Sure.
You know, just waking up, you don't even know what your own capabilities are, and letting alone know who you are as a person anymore. And need to go build your new identity and define the rest of your own life. And it really took me about 10 years to really figure out who I was and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to, impact the world the way that I could, and that's when I decided to write my first book and really take on the motivational speaking head on. And I enjoyed writing that first book so much, and I had so much more to say, and I want to get more of my thoughts out there. So I decided to write Beyond 5 Minutes and Lessons from a Wounded Warrior's Life Outdoors. That's where I've done so much of my healing, and I think so many people can get so much out of the outdoors in their own way. And really the thing is just going out there and finding what it is, your thing, and focusing on that and becoming the best version of yourself every single day.
No, I get that. And then you have done a lot of these outdoor things that folks do for the vets, the Patriot catfishing. You've done some hunting things with some folks. That's all stuff that rejuvenated Jack, right? And it's all out there. If veterans need it, if people want to support it, it's out there. You got to go find it.
Yeah, there's being in the outdoors it's where all the healing really happened for me and so many of my friends. And these nonprofits are so good now at taking these veterans and putting them together and giving them that camaraderie again and a place to share and a place to heal together. And like I say, sometimes you need to be alone in a deer blind and just alone with your thoughts and deal with your stuff. And sometimes you need to be out in the blind with four of your buddies trying to shoot some ducks, or sitting with one good friend in a boat talking about the things that are going on in life and working through some of that stuff. It's a lot where a lot of that happens. Us guys, we just can't sit down and talk about our feelings. We got to be doing something while we're doing it,
Keep your mind off the feelings. That's right. Beyond 5 Minutes, Lessons from a Wounded Warrior's Life Outdoors. Again, Jack Zimmerman, MN.com. But the thing you're going to find when you get there, this guy does motivational speaking, but I presume you're pretty much tied up now for this year. You are looking at 2026, right? If you want him to come.
Yeah, we're pretty much booking into 2026. If you got something in 2025 that you're interested in, shoot me an email, and I'll let you know if that date's available. But it's pretty hard in the fall here. And before we get out of here, Al, I just want to, say sorry about your father. I hope you had a good weekend. And, I just shared, how much those memories on the water with my boys meant to me. And I hope you got to, relive some of those memories, this past weekend.
I appreciate that a ton, Jack. It was fun. Massive amounts of family, of course, came down, and so there's all the memories of your cousins and way back when. You're doing your kids a great service by giving those memories to talk about, Jack, at some point. So good for you, and I thank you. Appreciate you bringing it up. And I should throw out, we were at the Lost, Alan? Lost Saints Brewery. It's the brewery here in Blue Earth. Afterwards with some friends, and some real nice listeners listen to the show, happened to be there and said a lot of nice things. I'd like to thank them for that. I want to throw one more thing at you before I let you go, Jack. You're a basketball guy. You love my Timberwolves. Did you catch Naz Reid got a 5-year, $125 million deal to continue on with the Timberwolves? I couldn't be happier.
No, I agree. I'm so glad he's going to stick around. I can't. Did you see that even Harden signed like an $88 million deal, 2 years?
Yep.
It's insane the amount of money these guys are making now. I mean, it's $44 million a year out.
Oh, it's
Divide
crazy.
that by 12 and figure out what it is a month. He's doing all right.
Yeah, it's a little less than $4 million, by the way, a month. The other one, we got Julius Randle signed with Minnesota this week, and that's what I was going to say. Did you catch this? $100 million, 3 years, and he's got the option.
$33 million a year. That is hard to fathom, Al. Hard to fathom.
Well, it really is. Then you sit there and say, why are ticket prices the way they are? Right? Somebody's got to pay that money. It isn't, it ain't coming cheap. But Minnesota Timberwolves look like they'll be almost the exact same team as they were last year. Is that okay by you? Western Conference Finals.
I think we have a good team. I think really, like, if you look, I mean, how early in the season now do we gripe and everything else? I think if we get a little better seat going into the playoffs, have a little bit easier time early on, don't have to play some harder teams so early, I think that it gives us a lot better shot. And I really think we can play with anybody. I really do. I think, there's going to be those teams that are hard to beat, but I don't know why we can't. Why not us, Al? Why not us?
Well, again, I don't want to argue with you, but I just feel like, okay, this team got to the Western Conference Final twice. That's great. Love that. But to get that next step, I think we need something. I'm not the basketball coach to do it, but do you just put the same group back on the floor? Because OKC is really the team we're catching, right? They're fantastic.
Al, you're in football mindset right now. You know, you go into the football season with your team, you know.
Yeah.
Basketball season, there's a lot of trading going on during the season. You know, we're going to wait to get that deal as we get closer to playoffs, I think, to put that final run team together.
Fair enough. Jack, I got to fly. I'm out of time. Appreciate you being on the program, Zach. Jack Zimmerman, mn.com. Still your website, right?
Thanks, Al. Yeah, absolutely. That's my website, yeah.
Appreciate you, my friend. We'll be back with more right after this.